Hello everybody and welcome. This is my thoracic spine focused movement practice. My name is Sarah and it's really important to move our thoracic spine, you know, even just throughout our day, not just in like one class, but throughout our day, like noticing the space, basically our thoracic cavity, so the space below our shoulders and then basically down to the bottom of our rib cage. Like this is the spine we're focusing on. And typically when we have low back pain, sometimes the culprit is like not moving or bringing more awareness to our rib cage, essentially. So we'll do a little extension, we'll do a bunch of different movements to bring more awareness to the space and that you can incorporate into your daily life, okay? So for this class, you'll need 2 blocks, a mat, and that's it. So let's get started by finding a seat, cross-legged. And if you find it hard to sit cross-legged, you can also prop yourself up on a block. Good, we'll begin with a few breaths here, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Good, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. One more breath in and breath out. Good. Go ahead and bring your hands to the sides of your rib cage and then focus on breathing into the sides of your rib cage. So as you breathe in, you can pretend like your rib cage is like an accordion as you pull out. And then pull your accordion back in. Good, let's do 4 more like that. Breathing in to the sides of your rib cage, pulling your rib cage out. And pulling your rib cage back in. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice job. All right, good. Find one of your blocks and you'll rest your block on your scapula, so your shoulder blades, okay? We'll lie down and then the bottom of the block will rest on the bottom of the shoulder blades and the rest of the block will fall onto the rest. Good. And from here, you're going to bring your hands behind your head and then you're just going to slightly pull the back of your head back toward the floor as you extend your sternum up toward the ceiling. Good. And then nice and steady, coming back up to center. Good. Again, bending or extending your spine backward, opening up through your chest, and then coming back up. Good, let's do that a couple more times, sending the back of the head back toward your mat, and then coming back up. Good, a few more, inhaling back, and exhaling, coming up. Good, inhaling, sending the back of the head back. And then exhaling, sending it back. One more time, bring it back. And come forward. Good, go ahead and come to your side and come back up to a seat. All right, find a tabletop position. And if you need some extra padding for your knees, you can roll your mat underneath. Otherwise, find a blanket of some kind. But bring your blocks out to the top of your mat. And then from here, you're going to spread your fingers wide. Knees will come underneath the hips. And then from here, think about keeping your lower back really just steady, right? And then you're going to drop your rib cage down and then pull your clavicle, your collarbone forward as you lift the bottom of the chin up. So you're finding like an extension through your upper back. See, it doesn't look like much from what I'm doing, but again, I'm really sensing my upper back extending here like we were doing on the block. Good, and then just round through your upper back. Try to keep your lumbar spine, your lower back as steady as possible, and just lift from the middle of your shoulder blades up toward the sky. Good, again, pressing your sternum down as you pull your clavicle forward, bottom of the chin guides upward. Good, and then round through your spine. Good, find your neutral spine, and then just to make sure you're doing this right and not moving your lumbar spine, we're going to put a block on our sacrum, okay? Okay, now we'll find these cow-cats with just the upper back with the block on the sacrum. All right, good. Keep us honest here. Drop that sternum down, hold the chest forward, and think about reaching the spine away from your pelvis as you guide your chin up. Good, exhale, round through your upper back, reach the middle of the shoulder blades up to the sky, chin comes in towards your chest. Good, again, pulling down through the sternum, reaching forward through the clavicle, right? And round, okay? If this doesn't feel like much, that's fine, but we're just trying to build more awareness, building that mind-body connection through the upper back, right? Maybe this is the first time you've really even brought awareness to this space, and that's okay. And pulling the shoulder blades apart from each other as you round through your upper back. Good, and then coming forward one more time. And round. Good, find your neutral spine, release the block from your back, and then we'll go ahead and find a seat here, facing forward, cross-legged like we started. Good, and I just want you, again, bring some awareness to this whole space, the rib cage, right? Breathing into the sides of the rib cage, bringing into the front, the back. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. Notice how the rib cage and the upper back feel now versus when you first started. Nice. All right, so now we're going to find this like hula hoop rotating with the rib cage. So typically we like to hula hoop from our waist, right? So now I want you to think about pretending that you're hula hooping, but with the rib cage, keeping your belly steady. In fact, you can bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your lower back, and really just try to keep that space steady as you send your rib cage over to your right, right? Good. And then we'll send the rib cage over to the left. Good, baby steps here, okay? Sending the rib cage over to the right. And then sending the rib cage over to the left. Yeah, this is really hard for me too. So again, really isolating that space it's difficult. It's not an easy thing. Whenever we try something new, it's not like we're going to get it the first time, right? It's going to be over and over, repetitive, I guess repetitions over and over again to get better and better at certain movements, getting our brains acclimated to our bodies, right? Good. Find center. Now we're going to press the sternum forward. Again, keeping that belly, if you want to switch hands, but keeping that belly steady, keeping the lower back as steady as possible. It's going to move a little bit, but again, just so that you're more aware of your belly and how it's moving, can you just, again, press your sternum straight forward, right? And then press your shoulder blades back, okay? I'm going to face the side here so you can see what I'm doing. Good, again, pressing your sternum forward and then finding that extension and rounding. Good, it's not a huge movement, but just a few pulsing back and forth. Yep. And release. Okay, so now we'll combine all those movements together to find that little hula hooping sensation. Okay, so hands can come to your lap if you want, and then we're gonna press that sternum forward, send this rib cage over to the left, send the rib cage back to the right and around. Okay. It's really, again, if you're finding the movement to be a little bit jerky, that's okay, right? That's fine. Just being open to new experience, right? And knowing that this is good. This is good to expose things that you didn't know about yourself. Good, now switch, right? Ooh, very difficult for me too. I really have to concentrate to really pretending like I'm hula hooping with my rib cage in slow motion. Yep. And release. Nice. Good job. We're going to bring it to a tabletop position again. Good. And let's just find a few rounds of cow-cat here. Again, dropping that belly, pulling the chest forward and up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round your spine, and then chin comes in towards your chest. Good. We're doing a full global cow-cat now. So feel free to move that lumbar spine as much as you need, dropping the belly, looking up. Exhale, rounding. Good, inhale, drop. Exhale, round. Beautiful, good. Find your neutral spine. You're gonna walk your hands back toward your feet. Sit back into the heels for a moment. Nice, and then we're gonna walk our hands back to tabletop. Good, right hand will come behind your head. And then you're going to guide your elbow up to the sky. And the tendency here is a lot of people will like shift their hips out to the side to find this big stretch. That's great, you know, that feels really good. But since this is a thoracic spine mobility class, we really want to just focus on keeping the belly button facing down toward the mat and then pivoting, rotating from the rib cage. Okay, so right hand comes behind the head. You're going to rotate your chest over to the right. And then really focus on pulling your shoulder blade, this top shoulder blade, back in toward your spine, okay? Belly button faces down. Good, take an inhale here. Good, on your exhale, cross your elbow toward your wrist, opposite wrist. Good, inhale, guide your elbow up. Pull that elbow back without rotating your belly out to the side as best as you can. And then bring the elbow down. Good, one more time, sending that elbow up. Nice. And then bringing it all the way back down. Hand comes down toward the floor. Good, tuck your toes underneath. And then if this is enough stretch for you, you can stay here. Otherwise, give your wrists a break and sit back into the heels just for a moment. Yeah. All right, other side. So left hand will come behind the head. Rotate your back open, sending the shoulder blade back. Good. Exhale, bring that elbow down toward the wrist to rotate through your upper back. Yeah. Inhale, guide the elbow up. Pull the shoulder blade back toward your spine. Good. Exhale, cross your elbow in toward your wrist. Good, inhale, guide up, squeeze that shoulder blade back, keep the belly button facing down, and then guide the elbow back. Good, open up one more time, and then bring your hand back underneath your shoulder. Good, tuck your toes underneath, sit back into the heels, and rest the wrists. Good. Bring your hands down and step your right foot forward, and then your left will find a standing position. Then bring this back a little bit. Okay. Good. So from here, we're going to lift your arms up to the sky, again, finding length of your spine.